Hello and welcome to India Business Hour. I'm Archana Solanki. Here are the headlines we're tracking this evening. Sensex and Nifty slide for the fifth straight session. Midcaps and small caps get battered. 10 lakh crore rupees in investor wealth wiped out today. Forex dealers left puzzled as Rupee makes a surprising recovery. Even as the US tariffs on steel and aluminium kick in, RBI likely to have sold dollars in massive amounts. Sources say the move is an attempt to scare speculators. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, unfazed by the recent rupee depreciation, says other developed and emerging market currencies have fared worse. Also adds state governments haven't spent 1 lakh crore rupees sanctioned by the centre and urged the states to spend more. Top private equity investors are bullish on India even amidst the market correction, but remain wary of valuations, and some IPOs are being pulled back.
No one holds the key to our collective future and shared destiny other than us humans.
Prime Minister Modi pitches India's AI story in Paris, says AI is writing the code for humanity, bats for developing open source systems that enhance trust and transparency. Elon Musk and a group of investors make an unsolicited bid of over $97 billion to take control of ChatGPT maker OpenAI. Sam Altman quickly rejects the offer and mocks Elon Musk by offering less than $10 billion to buy Twitter.
If all of the hostages aren't returned by Saturday at 12 o'clock, I think it's an appropriate time. I would say cancel it and all bets are off, and let hell break out.
US President Donald Trump issues an ultimatum to Hamas after it suspends the release of Israeli hostage alleging ceasefire violations. Trump warns all hell would break loose if hostages are not released by Saturday. Vodafone Idea's Q3 loss narrows to 6,600 crore rupees compared to more than 7,000 crore rupees in Q2. Revenue rises 2%, margins expand. Average revenue per user rises to 173 rupees a month. Adani shares rise in a downbeat market. US President Trump puts on hold the law which bars US companies from bribing foreign officials. Bangladesh also asks Adani to restore full power supply after 3 months of reduced sales. Supreme Court tells the Election Commission not to delete any EVM data pending verification, seeks directions from the Poll Authority on allowing verification of burnt memory and symbol loading units. Association of Democratic Reforms claims the EC is not following the standard operating procedure to verify EVMs. Prime Minister Modi virtually inaugurates the India Energy Week and reaffirms commitment to sustainability, confident of achieving 500 gigawatts in renewable energy by 2030. Karnataka hosts a global business summit to woo investors, expects investment proposals worth at least 10 lakh crore rupees. And we'll come to that and more in a bit. But first, what was a turbulent Tuesday for the Indian equity markets? Sensex and Nifty slid for the fifth straight session. 45 of 50 Nifty stocks closed in the red. 10 lakh crore rupees in investor wealth wiped out today. The mid-caps and small caps suffered the most. Over 95% of India's top 100 mid-cap and small cap stocks closed with cuts. Sudarshan Kumar joins us now. Sudarshan, decode the sell-off for us.
So in the last few days, market has taken a big knock, both, especially in the broader markets, with both mid-cap and small-cap indices are now down 20% each from record highs that both these indices had hit in late 2024 and down 6% each just in last 2 days. And one of the reasons, if you can attribute, is big FIs selling. Just in 2025, FIs have sold shares worth nearly rupees 1 lakh crore in the cash market and nearly rupees 3 lakh crore if you see from the month of October 2024. And the impact can be seen in broader markets. Nearly 30% of total mid and small cap stocks are at or near to 52-week lows, with 70% of them are down 30% or more from their recent peaks. For Sensex and Nifty, the fall is 11 to 12% from the record high, both these indices that have hit in September 2024. But look at broader markets. Mid-cap and small-cap indices are almost in correction territory. Mid-cap index is down 17%. Small-cap index has fallen 19% from record highs. Nifty Next 50, or earlier it used to be known as Nifty Junior, has fallen 22%, and Nifty Small-cap 250 is down 90%. The fall looks more severe if you look at sectoral indices. Media index is down 32%, energy 30%, PSU 28%, realty 26%, and PSU bank 26%, and metal index is down 20% from their record high. So which of the stocks are top loser? Well, not even a single stock is at a 52-week high. And amongst top losers, PSUs are at top of the table. Top losers are MRPL, Cochin Shipyard, Vodafone Idea, Hind Zinc, Oil India, and HUDCO, down somewhere in the range of 46 to 60%. And among small caps, top losers are Sterling and Wilson, Chennai Petro, Raymond, Jupiter Wagon, Titagarh Rail, and ITI, down somewhere in the range of 60 to 65%. And if there was any expectation from earnings, that too seems to have vanished, with number of companies missing estimates has been much more than the ones beating expectation. We'll have to see how the remaining calendar earnings pans out, and if any time soon FIs start buying. That's a big if, but that's what we can hope for now.
Right, thank you, Sudarshan, for that. Top private equity investors are bullish on India, even amidst the market correction. But they remain wary of valuations, and some IPOs are being pulled back. Shireen Bhan spoke to them at the annual Indian Venture and Alternate Capital Association.
Sharon, I think if you look at what was clear is the time gone by. So when I look at 24, it was definitely a seller's market. We had IPO markets which were crazy. We all got exits. I think each one of us, we had more than 4 IPOs. We still have another 3 in the... It's gotten tighter now. So when it's a seller's market, buying was very difficult last year. The public markets eventually are an indicator where the private markets are going to go. And it hasn't been the most healthy start to a year. I think prices rightly will correct. The multiples will compress. And the second half of 25 will be a buyer's market much more than a seller's market.
I think that is, I would say, 50% of investments we do are focused on consolidation play, like the last 2 months as well. One in the insurance brokerage space, where we have bought 2-3 businesses, and we are amongst the top 4 players overnight. And similarly, in consumer packaged food businesses, we have combined 2 businesses, one being Agrotech Foods and the other one being Del Monte. So I think the opportunity across sectors to consolidate, I think, is a very large one in India.
That second half is when, a lot of people who are looking, I know some of the IPOs have been pulled back. So it will not be as easy to do an IPO as it was earlier, and that was when...
pulled back on account of the volatility that we're seeing?
Volatility and I think the valuation what they had in mind.
We know India's pricey. India's equity risk premiums is now getting back to a high. People are moving to quality. You're better off buying a platform of higher quality at a slightly few more turns multiple that can use the thesis that Sumit talked about or Mukesh talked about as a platform to acquire other businesses, as Care Hospital has, or some of the other examples, versus buying a fixer-upper at a great price.
Moving on, the rupee saw its strongest intraday rally in over 2 years. Dealers attributed the rise of the rupee to the likelihood of the RBI selling dollars in massive amounts. Lata Venkatesh decodes the rupee rally for us.
Well, the rupee's rally is absolutely come out of the blue, and it is an extremely sharp rally. The rupee at its sharpest dealt at 86.63, and the overnight close was 87.46. So, it's almost a 1 rupee jump or a 1 percentage point rally in the rupee. And it is surprising because the dollar index has actually strengthened. Last week, Friday night, it was at 107.70 thereabouts. Monday, it went to 108.10. Tuesday, now it's at about 108.4. So dollar is strengthening. Almost all Asian currencies are weakening. Almost all. There's a minor green on the ringgit, but that's minor. Whereas the Indian rupee is extremely strong. And the only reason why it has been strong, the only person who's offering dollars like no tomorrow is the Reserve Bank of India. There are some huge numbers floating around, but all this is market chatter. People tell us that yesterday as well that the RBI must have sold well over $3 billion. Today, in the first half itself, they must have sold an equivalent amount. So the market is only trying to guess why is the RBI standing so much against the current of the foreign exchange flow. And it's not only peculiar to India. You know, all EM currencies are falling. One guess is it wants the other side to come in and sell, the exporters. Typically, Jan, Feb, March is an export-heavy month. We do very well in exports. We sometimes have a current account surplus. So he's probably tempting the exporters to come and sell. Alternatively, they are scaring the speculators. You know, one day the rupee went from 86.50 thereabouts to 87.40. The next day it opened at 87.95, almost 88. I mean, this kind of speculative moves have to be stopped and the speculators have to be hurt. And that may be the position that the Reserve Bank is taking. But at the moment, all these are guesses.
Thank you, Lata. For that, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman says currencies of other developed and emerging market currencies have fared worse than the rupee. Responding to the budget debate in Parliament, Sitharaman also added that state governments have not spent the 1 lakh crore rupees sanctioned by the centre and urged all the states to utilise that amount.
There's also some potential safe haven buying at this point into dollar assets. So given all that, I wouldn't be overly worried, unquote. So he says about the Indian rupees VIX, and he is not worried. Whereas our people here are more worried about rupee depreciating. When I said the dollar is appreciating and the rupee is remaining stable, they said, oh, what? This is no explanation. Now when Raghuram Rajan says it, they don't want to hear it. I want to show how unspent balances are remaining. And how much is it totaling to, unspent balances? 1 lakh crore as of 31st December 2024. If money is lying in the accounts, if you just give the utilization or raise the bills, you get the money. It is in your account there, SNA account there. Please take it. It's already in your account. But no, you're not giving money for Food Security Act. Why not? We are giving the money. It's there. Would you like to use it? This is a statement attached to the budget documents. I would like the honourable members to see where the money is lying. And despite that, more is being asked. You ask more, no problem. The moment you use this, we'll give more.
The India Energy Week kicked off in New Delhi today and Prime Minister Modi virtually inaugurated the summit. In a bid to attract investor interest, Prime Minister Modi said that the country is aiming to add 500 gigawatt of renewable energy capacity by 2030. He also reiterated India's goal to 5 million metric tons of green hydrogen annually by 2030.
साल 2030 तक हम 500 गीगावाट रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी कैपेसिटी ऐड करना चाहते हैं। साल 2030 तक भारतीय रेलवे ने नेट जीरो कार्बन एमिशन का टारगेट रखा है। साल 2030 तक हम हर साल 5 मिलियन मेट्रिक टन ग्रीन हाइड्रोजन कर सके, ये हमारा लक्ष्य है।
New administration's focus on energy, which I must say is music to my ears. When the new administration says that more energy should come on the market and more energy means prices should, come down, clearly for a country like India, which is both consumer and producer, there are some of my oil marketing companies who get upset every time the price comes down because their balance sheets don't show that. But as an Indian and as a line minister, I am very happy with prices coming down. My friend, my first point is there has never been a shortage of energy in the world. I mean, not now. There is more than enough energy available.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi pitched the progress of India's artificial intelligence ecosystem in Paris, where he co-chaired the AI Action Summit alongside French President Emmanuel Macron. Modi is in France for the first leg of his two-nation visit. Addressing the summit, he said that nations must pull together their resources and talent and develop open source artificial intelligence systems that enhance trust and transparency. He said that India was willing to share its experience and expertise to ensure that the future of AI belonged to everyone. US Vice President J.D. Vance also spoke at the summit. He said that excess regulation of the sector can kill the industry. The next edition of the AI Summit will be held in India later this year.
Governance is not just about managing risks and rivalries. It is also about promoting innovation and deploying it for the global good. So, we must think deeply and discuss openly about innovation and governance.
I believe that this is exactly the challenge that we face with artificial intelligence, succeeding in mastering what artificial intelligence is and its implications in many sectors, all while serving humanity.
We believe that excessive regulation of the AI sector could kill a transformative industry just as it's taking off, and we'll make every effort to encourage pro-growth AI policies. And I like to see that deregulatory flavor making its way into a lot of the conversations this conference.
US President Donald Trump's top economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, has criticized India's tariffs. In an interview with CNBC, he called India's tariff structure enormously high. He also added that these tariffs are a major issue that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will have to address during his upcoming visit to the US.
Talking specifically about tariffs, just recall that almost every trading partner has much higher tariffs than we do. In fact, the only trading partner that's about where we are, and there's Canada and Mexico who are part of the trade deal, but outside of that, the UK has about the same tariff we do. The EU it's 2 to 3% higher. Taiwan it's 10 or 11%, and India, and we're meeting Modi soon, has got a lot to talk about with the president because they have tariffs that I think the trade weighted average is a little bit short of 20. Now I'm running it out of my head, so don't give me a Pinocchio. But they have high rates that are enormously high. They're lockout rates. And so President Trump believes that at the very least everybody should agree that if they're charging us 20, then we should charge them 20. And then if they go down, we'll go down. But that's the idea of reciprocity in the tariff space.
Shares of Adani Group companies gained today in a downbeat market. This after US President Donald Trump signed an executive order to pause the enforcement of the law used to launch a bribery investigation against the Adani Group. The order directs the Department of Justice to put the Foreign Corrupt Practices Act on hold. Remember, the act prohibits American companies and foreign firms from bribing officials of foreign governments to obtain or retain business. Shares of Adani Power also rallied in early trade. This development comes after reports suggested that the Bangladeshi government asked the company to resume supplies from its plant in India. The company had halved its supply to Bangladesh due to delay in payments in October last year. Remember, Adani Power signed a 25-year contract under former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in 2017. The company has been supplying power from its $2 billion plant in Jharkhand. Vodafone Idea reported a stable set of numbers with losses narrowing to a little over 6,600 crore rupees on a sequential basis. Revenue rose nearly 2%, while EBITDA grew 8.2%. Average revenue per user rose to 173 rupees, while the debt from banks reduced by 53 billion rupees during the last 1 year and stood at 23.3 billion rupees. Billionaire Elon Musk and a group of investors made an unsolicited bid of nearly $100 billion to acquire ChatGPT maker OpenAI. Company CEO Sam Altman responded, saying that he will not accept the deal and mocked Musk by offering less than $10 billion to buy Twitter. Elon Musk's surprise bid to buy OpenAI is the latest episode in his ongoing feud with Sam Altman.
Elon Musk! A consortium led by Elon Musk said on Monday it has offered $97.4 billion to buy the nonprofit that controls OpenAI. It's another attempt by the billionaire to block the artificial intelligence startup from transitioning to a for-profit firm. Musk's bid is likely to ramp up a long-standing feud with OpenAI CEO Sam Altman over the future of the ChatGPT maker. Altman on Monday posted on X, quote, "No thank you, but we will buy Twitter for $9.74 billion if you want." Musk co-founded OpenAI with Altman in 2015 as a nonprofit, but left before the company took off. He went on to found the competing AI startup xAI in 2023. OpenAI is now trying to transition from a nonprofit into a for-profit entity. It says that restructure is required to raise the funds needed to develop the best AI models. Musk's new offer is only his most recent attempt to throw a wrench in those plans. In August last year, Musk sued Altman and others, claiming they broke contract by putting profit ahead of the public good in the push to advance AI. Then, in November, he tried in court to block OpenAI from converting to a for-profit structure. The consortium led by Musk that is now trying to buy OpenAI's parent nonprofit includes xAI and several investment firms. Were a deal to go through, xAI could merge with OpenAI, according to the Wall Street Journal, which first reported Musk's offer earlier on Monday. Aside from any antitrust implications, a deal of this size would need Musk and his consortium to raise enormous amounts of funding. According to an uninvolved investment banker, in order to finance such a bid, Musk could sell part of his stake in Tesla or take a loan against his stake. He could also put up as collateral his stake in rocket company SpaceX, which is worth tens of billions of dollars.
Speaking to CNBC on the sidelines of the AI Action Summit, Altman said that Musk is trying to slow down a competitor with his bid.
I think it's to slow down a competitor and try to catch up with his thing, but I don't really know.
Yeah, but you know him well, right?
To the degree anybody does.
Coming up on the India Business Hour, US President Donald Trump issues an ultimatum to Hamas after he suspends the release of Israeli hostages, alleging ceasefire violations. And you can also catch all CNBC TV 18's news and updates on Facebook, X, Threads, Instagram, and JioCinema. You're watching India Business Hour. The Supreme Court has asked the Election Commission to not erase or reload any data in the electronic voter machines while carrying out verifications. The apex court also sought the poll body's response to a plea filed by Association for Democratic Reforms. The plea has sought directions to the commission to allow verification of the burnt memory and symbol loading units of EVMs. The plea has also claimed that the standard operating procedure made by the Election Commission on the verification of EVMs was not in accordance with the Supreme Court's April 2024 judgment. Staying with court action, in a relief for lottery company Future Gaming, the Supreme Court ruled that lottery distributors are not obligated to pay service tax to the centre. The apex court ruled that the centre's attempt to impose service tax on lottery operations was unconstitutional. The court added that only a state government had the power to levy this tax. Remember, Future Gaming is India's largest donor through electoral bonds and has donated over 1,300 crore rupees to major political parties between 2019 to 2024. US President Donald Trump has given Hamas an ultimatum after the militant group suspended the release of Israeli hostages. Trump has said that he would propose cancelling the ceasefire if all Israeli hostages are not released by Saturday noon. However, he did not clarify if his administration was considering a military action.
Saturday at 12 o'clock, and after that, I would say all hell is going to break out. And I don't think they're going to do it. I think a lot of them are dead. I think a lot of the hostages are dead. I think it's a great human tragedy.
Is hosting a global business summit to woo investors. The state government is expecting investment proposals worth at least 10 lakh crore rupees.
His invitation and my acceptance show that
in the pursuit of the national interest, we stand united, unmindful of the political differences.
From IT to manufacturing, deep tech to renewable energy, and aerospace to healthcare, Karnataka is committed to fostering success and leading the way forward. The time to invest in Karnataka is now.
The Mahindra Group is planning close to 40,000 crores of investment in Karnataka in the next few years. Mahindra Sustain intends to invest 35,000 crores to develop over 5 gigawatts of solar and hybrid projects over the next 5 years.
Reliance Industries Chairman Mukesh Ambani, along with family members, visited Prayagraj today for a holy dip at the Mahakumbh. Mukesh Ambani was accompanied by Mother Kokilaben Ambani, sons Akash and Anant, daughters-in-law Shloka and Radhika, and other members of the family. They took a boat ride from Arail Ghat to the river confluence for the holy dip. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of India Business Hour. Thank you for watching. News continues right here on CNBC TV 18.